How much are you looking forward to Anthony coming back? And
Yeah,
a chance to be welcomed by the crowd.
it's going to be a fun day. And just being here for when he returned as a player, and hearing that eruption and kind of excitement from the crowd. I think this one's going to be maybe a little bit more special. Just him being able to kind of take it all in. He's going to be waterworks. I'm ready for that.
Obviously, a unique perspective being in the dugout with him, but
Yeah.
does he mean to this franchise and this fan base? And just
Yeah, I think just such a great leader, such a great human. The way he gave back to the city, and he was the foundation of the building block of turning the Cubs into the expectation of being in the playoffs and winning. And so he always set the standard. He was saying the other day about when he got interviewed on 670, just about the guys that showed him how to play every day, and Soriano and Castro, and the guys that was like, hey, it's really important to go out there and play every single day. Like, I learned that from him. Like, he passed that down to me and to Neek, and like guys that being out there, being available. Like, he really has done a great job of representing what it means to be a Cub, and like continuing to pass that down to all of us.
Yeah, he posted a photo of the jersey, all the signatures of the kids he's visited.
Yeah.
You've mentioned it's not just his impact on
Yeah.
the field, but how important it was for him to impact the city as well. I mean, can you speak to just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, he cared so much about this place. Like, he loved the city of Chicago, and he always wanted to give back. Before I was here, he was giving back. It was super important to him. The events that he would host, and just his willingness to. It was never work for him. It was every off day, every morning before a day game. Many times a month, he was going to Lori's, seeing kids, and like it was such a big impact for him. It was awesome for us as teammates to get to participate in that a little bit, and like he was always open to anything that guys could do to help. He would super appreciate, and I think the city, I think the fans appreciate just how much he cared about Chicago and how much he wanted to give back.
One of the things with his career that stands out is that he was here in some of those down years real early on.
Yeah.
But then was a big part of the 2016, that rise. Do you see, to some extent, kind of some parallels to where you guys are now, where you've gone through some years and now you're looking at a playoff team again?
Maybe. Not, but it's not the same. Like, I've been here for just 9 years. We're really good. Like, my first 3 years, like, we had really good teams. We won the division in 20, my fourth year. And we had to go through one tough second half and one bad season. That was it. Like, we were over 500 the last 2 years. We didn't make the playoffs. Like, I haven't made the playoffs in a minute, and that stinks. We haven't won a playoff game in a long time, and that stinks. But, we've been above 500. We didn't have to go through, like, the just endless losing and rebuilding and selling and selling and selling. Like, I've been really lucky to not have to do that, and that's because of Anthony. That's because of those guys. It's because of Theo and Jed and guys that have set the standard on what this organization is supposed to be and that expectation. So I'm lucky to those guys to not have to do that.
Do you have a favorite Rizzo memory on field?
On field or off? Yeah, I have a lot.
That you can share.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a really good on-field one. I don't know. He's the type of guy that really gets to know his teammates and understands a lot about them. And we were pretty close from day one, or else at least I think we were. Like, I'm in this locker because he was 2 lockers over, and when I debuted and we came back, there was another nameplate up there, somebody else, and he grabbed it and chucked it across the locker room and made sure that I was in this locker. This was pretty cool. Like, from day one, I was 22 years old, and he's had a couple All-Star games, and he wanted me to be right next to him, and that meant a ton. I'll share one more. My first year, and we're in Pittsburgh playing on Father's Day, which was a lot for me. I hit a homer on Father's Day wearing those blue jerseys, and Anthony and Tim Buss were the 2 guys that they could not have been more happy. They knew exactly what was going on. They were aware. They gave me a big hug, and it was just a really, really cool moment that those guys were so so in tune with. And he just always had that ability to know what was going on around him, regardless of what was happening with himself.
Is there any one piece of advice that he gave you as a young player that you take with you now?
Just play. I think that was the biggest one. Was that he was so good at being out there, no matter what was going on with him, unless he needed a week for his back. But he was, no matter what, I watched him get hit with so many pitches, watched him roll his ankle and be back in 2 days. Like, it was just being out there and how much it meant for his name to be in the lineup for the rest of the group. And that was something that he preached. And, like, if there was ever anything that happened, it was like, you're just going to be out there and be available and post for your teammates. And so that's the biggest thing I've taken from him over these years.
As someone who knows how Wrigley can play, when you would see him climb up on the tarp and make
Yeah.
catches, what would you
They made that illegal just because he kept doing it. He can't do it anymore. The glove was spectacular. Lucky enough to have play with, in the infield with him a little bit, and just like his ability to run around and play first base was silly. And those bunt plays, like National League when pitchers are bunting all the time, like the bunting stuff, like nobody could do it like he could.
It's funny too because the Freddie Freeman stuff is actually one of the greatest moments.
Yeah.
What did you think between when he was pitching and that rundown?
Yeah, the pitching, the rundown. Like, he's had fun playing baseball. Like, some of us can't do that. I don't have as much fun as he had. Like, he could keep it light and he could have a blast while he was playing. And he had a special ability to be able to do that and compete at the same time.
Who's got a better golf game?
Me, it's not close. And Anthony, some would say he's fluffing a couple shots in the bunkers from time to time,
A couple.
What do you think, because of what he went through as a young man, having cancer, that's why fun was really important to him?
I think it's probably part of it. I think he's also just a very large child in the best way. He was such a competitor. And one of the most amazing things about him was just like when we would face like top tier talent, like when we would face an ace from another team, he never shied away from it. He would always talk himself, like hype himself up, and like he had great numbers off a bunch of these guys. But like, I just remember a series here where we're facing an ace who's just dominating, and I rake this guy, and his ability to have that confidence and like he would compete like that, but at the same time, 10 minutes before the game, he might be walk around the locker room telling a hilarious joke. Like he had that balance.